We usually only see them as these untouchable superstars, right? The massive contracts, the global fame, the trophies. But there's this fascinating investigative project called Legends Unmasked, and it's completely pulling back the curtain on the hidden, often really harsh realities of football's greatest players. We're talking about the jaw-dropping struggles, the unbelievable sacrifices, and the failures that forged them long before the world even knew their names. Welcome to This Explainer, where we are going to dive straight into these breathtaking origins. And to kick things off, we've got to start with the truth that perfectly sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. Okay, let's just dive right into this. There is absolutely no better example of the razor-thin margin between making global history and living a completely unknown life than Lionel Messi. Imagine possessing a once-in-a-generation talent. You have this pure, innate genius for the game, but your own body simply refuses to cooperate. Messi faced a severe medical condition that stunted his physical growth, making him significantly smaller and physically overmatched by kids his own age. The financial burden of his medical treatments on his family was immense, and the sheer psychological weight of that, wondering if a biological limitation was just going to permanently slam the door on his dreams, it pushed him to the absolute brink of walking away entirely. This wasn't just a hurdle, it was literally an existential threat to his career before it even began. And look, as crazy as it sounds, Messi is far from alone in this. We're looking at heavy hitters here. Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Zlatan, Haaland, Modric, Salah. Today, these names are literally synonymous with ultimate success. But the whole mission of Legends Unmasked is to deliberately break that illusion of overnight superstardom. The project wants to uncover the extreme sacrifices these global icons endured. It shows us that the path to greatness, it's almost never a straight line. It is paved with some really intense, surprising adversity. To truly understand their relentless drive, we have to recognize a foundational struggle for so many of them: poverty. The stark reality is that for a lot of these legends, their biggest obstacle wasn't the opposing team. It was severe financial conditions. We are talking about families making heartbreaking sacrifices just to afford a single pair of football boots, or even just the bus fare to get to training. Succeeding in football wasn't just about sporting glory. For many, it was a desperate lifeline to pull their entire families out of economic despair. You really have to factor in this level of hunger, and sometimes literal hunger, to fully grasp their drive on the pitch. Moving from economic hardship, we confront another devastating barrier: illness. And this brings us right back to Messi's battle with that growth hormone deficiency. When a young athlete is faced with a debilitating physical challenge, the whole game changes. It's no longer just about practicing free kicks, It's about enduring medical treatments, navigating a body that literally feels like it's failing you, and battling the daily anxiety of a totally precarious future. For players who almost walked away, these physical challenges threatened to end their careers before they even took flight. Overcoming this level of bodily adversity requires a type of mental resilience that's almost impossible to comprehend until you study the verified facts of their early lives. Beyond the physical hurdles and empty bank accounts, these aspiring athletes had to navigate deeply painful emotional setbacks. Rejection, and this encompasses so much more than just not making a squad. We're talking systemic roadblocks, intense bullying, agonizing injuries at crucial development stages, crippling homesickness. Imagine being a teenager hundreds of miles from home in a remote academy, constantly being told you were too small, a struggle Messi knew all too well, too weak, or simply not good enough. Taking that rejection, internalizing it, and somehow using it as fuel rather than letting it break you, that's a key characteristic this investigation really highlights. And then we arrive at perhaps the most extreme category of adversity: war. In some of the most harrowing cases explored in this project, future superstars had to survive the unimaginable horrors of violent conflict just to have the privilege to play the game. When your early life is defined by sirens, displacement, and the literal fight for survival, the football pitch becomes something entirely different. It becomes a sanctuary, the only place where the rules actually make sense. Understanding this level of trauma is absolutely crucial to understanding the profound, unwavering focus these players exhibit when they finally reach the global stage. So, you might be wondering, how does this project ensure accuracy when dealing with such sensitive histories? Well, it relies entirely on a gold standard of verified facts: official biographies, FIFA and UEFA records, direct interviews, and reputable sports journalism. To truly honor these incredible journeys, the project actively discards the rumor mill, the speculation, and those wild fan theories you see online. The truth of their survival is dramatic enough. It really doesn't need embellishment. By relying strictly on verifiable sources, the project maintains this unshakable credibility that makes their ultimate triumphs feel that much more impactful. And this rigorous commitment to the truth leads directly to what they call the Legends Unmasked standard. Basically, it's an investigative approach that requires explicitly stating if popular, widely circulated stories are unconfirmed, rather than ever presenting them as fact. It creates a strict journalistic boundary where every single shocking anecdote, every inspiring quote, or every detail about a player's early struggles, like the exact medical specifics of Messi's childhood condition, must be rigorously sourced and verified. So for us, it means we aren't just hearing fables, we are studying the actual historical blueprints of human resilience. Now, to effectively communicate these complex stories, they use a very specific structure. It's an architecture optimized for fast-paced 45 to 60-second shorts. The steps are pretty straightforward. Step 1 is the irresistible hook. Step 2 establishes the childhood background. Step 3 dives into those biggest struggles we just discussed. And Step 4 delivers the turning point. This isn't just about listing facts. It's a deliberate psychological structure designed to take you on a complete, satisfying emotional arc in under a minute. To actually execute that formula and craft a cinematic narrative, the pacing has to be absolutely flawless. It starts by dropping a shocking, verified fact in the very first 2 seconds to instantly halt your scrolling. Then it actively builds suspense and curiosity by weaving in a little-known, verified story. Crucially, it connects the dots, highlighting exactly how those early experiences, like fighting for your own physical growth, actively shapes the player's current identity on the pitch. And it always ends with a powerful takeaway. It really is a masterclass in dense, high-impact storytelling. Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway of this explainer. Understanding how these early, verified hardships, from severe financial lack to terrifying physical limitations like Messi's growth struggle, shaped the players they became, it completely changes how we view their legacies, doesn't it? They aren't just naturally gifted superheroes. They are survivors who forged their greatness in the fires of immense adversity. So ask yourself, which footballer's journey surprised you the most? Think about the struggles we've unpacked today, the sheer willpower required to overcome them, and consider how those hidden histories alter your perception of the legends we watch under the stadium lights today.